So we're going into pick and ban phase here already. Yeah, there's a new ban. I was just about to mention that. Blue side looking to make sure that purple side doesn't get the advantage that they want.
Yeah, that new objective control last game was just so critical that it just completely crippled their ability to play.
ZJ's ban still being brought out here by purple side. It may look like there won't change any bans. Lucian ban coming out here as well.
Yeah, laws of physics really likes that Lee Sin. I'm not surprised that they're taking that away from him.
Thresh ban being popped out here. It looks like they're gonna remove one of the geometric circles here.
Oh gosh.
Oh, don't worry, we have another circle being replaced by that, the Thresh pick here.
That's a Jono.
Maokai Jarvan being picked up here. Now Maokai was a big factor in that last game, and purple side here is just gonna take it again.
Maokai single-handedly shut down that Rumble top lane, and Rumble just wasn't able to recover him. They just slowly lost from there.
Now I feel like Dunk Evolution here is just gonna keep going for those circle picks. They're adding in the Jarvan to this comp now. They just know what to do. No, it's like all over.
We got 4 circles here. We got the Corky Q, the Janna ult, and the ult from Maokai and Jarvan.
You just never notice these things until like kind of you put them all together. How many circles are in League of Legends? You can just start counting them here. And Mumu ult. Guess that's why they call it rotations.
Oh my god, stop it. Please stop.
Just looking over at the blue side here, Corky Janna. That's quite a bit of poke coming in for that lane. Let's see what they pick up for the support. That may be a support. I forgot his name. Vel'Koz. All the Void Lings look the same. That was the racist Void Ling. This could be a Vel'Koz Jinx bot lane. I have seen a secret hand pick just coming in with mid lane Vel'Koz.
Yeah. Oh, they're already building up that massive front line with Jarvan and Maokai again. Because last game that Tristana was able to just sit back, like I said, and just freely auto attack, and that's what this Jinx is going to be able to do if they're not going to have something to dive it, and it looks like they do with that Vi. It's a great pickup with that Vi.
Now this game Xerath isn't banned, and it looks like purple side's going to pick up the Xerath here.
Yeah, so it is going to be the support Vel'Koz. What do you think that the strengths and weaknesses are of this support Vel'Koz here?
Well, it adds into the geometry thing they're going for, since he is the king of geometry. But actually speaking, the ball he has a lot of poke to come in. Jono may be able to counter it with his shield, but depending on how he plays it with his knockups, it just might cause a lot of chaos just for the blue side in.
Yeah, Vel'Koz is fairly squishy early, but blue side doesn't have that aggressive of a bot lane early, so I don't think Vel'Koz is gonna have too much trouble with his early squishiness.
Well, they don't have much peel for the carries, but I think the front line is heavy enough that they don't really need it for them. I mean, Vi can come in with an ultimate, and Irelia can come in as well, but they'll just have so much zoning in on them that it won't even matter.
Blue side has a really good pick comp right now with Vi and Syndra. If they can get good wards down early, and use that 1000 range Syndra EQ stun, it will do wonders for them. If they can get that on a priority target that they can just burst down and turn that into objective control.
Well, blue side, yeah, adding on to that, blue side really should be looking for those picks because they can kind of create a snowball off of that and just get far enough ahead that the frontline tanks on purple side that won't even matter. They'll just tear right through them.
This top lane matchup is very. It's really hard for Irelia early, especially when she queues to minions in the beginning of the game to farm. Every time she queues to a minion, it not only does it reset it so she can queue more, but it also gives Maokai a stack of his passive, and it just allows him to sustain constantly in that lane. But yeah, if blue side gets behind early in this, like they did last game, then purple side's just going to be able to have that massive front line, and they have a little bit of dive with the Vi and the Irelia, but the Jinx is just going to be able to sit in the back line and just do tons of damage. Tons of damage. There you go, another circle.
SimRim, please.
Oh,
you're not the geometry master here.
Sorry, sorry, senpai.
Don't worry, it's okay. I forgive you.
I won't make any more geometry puns.
Okay, we'll leave out the Venn diagrams for now. If it comes up, then it just happened.
It just happened.
Blame purple side for picking up all the geometries.
The geometry is that we're calling them now?
Wait. They have Maokai as a geometry. Oh.
Oh my god.
I went there.
That was just bad. Only you would do something like that.
Just looking at the. So what was it? The team with 5 skins ended up winning that round.
Yeah, they finally broke the curse.
Now in this game they have 4 to just over.
We got Team 4 skin and Team No skin, Team Default skin. Oh, actually no, they haven't really yet. We got Team Uno skin versus Team 4 skin. And according to this game, Team 4 skin should win, or this set of games, sorry.
Now, which team do you predict will win this one? Blue side or purple side?
If purple side can get or not purple side, blue side can get ahead, a slight lead early, and doesn't fall ridiculously far behind like they did last game, I'd say blue side, because blue side has great pick, and they have a lot of champions that snowball very easily once they don't need that much of a gold lead to start snowballing.
Yeah, I predict purple side for this one, just because of the Jarvan Maokai front line. It's just so much for them to handle. Now let's see how both teams play it out here. And we do see already a gold lead for blue side. Johnny coming up with that support mastery.
Please.
Just showing you already they have a early gold lead.
Yeah.
Now purple side, they're coming in with a kind of a mirrored invade of what they did last time, going the same direction as a 5-man group.
Donna did spot them there and out-traded all 4 of them with 1 NATO.
Now blue side has vision on purple side here, but purple side doesn't really have a vision on blue side. They don't know where they're going. They don't know that they're already invading for the red buff.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
They do catch vision up on Corki. Not quite getting something out of here. Getting some poke down onto Janna.
Vel'Koz has a great zoning tool with his Q early because it has a fairly long range slow that just anyone that walks up is gonna either take the slow or gonna have to back out.
Now purple side got a lot of aggressive wards down here when they were chasing down all the other members. Unfortunately those trinkets are gonna pop a little bit earlier than usual. You see purple side coming in to steal the red buff. They're just gonna be trading buffs here now.
Blue side does not have vision on their red buffs. They will not have a timer on this. If in fact red side or blue side, no, red side does leave a small minion for blue side, then that won't really matter. But it looks like Vi leaving a small minion out red buff camp to deny Jarvan that red buff experience or red buff later on. So once he does finally get around to that, he will be able to clear that out and get the timer for that.
Now I wonder if that was planned by Vi, because that may stall Jarvan later on through the game. I mean, he might go to get his red buff later on, and then that might want blue side to go and get dragon control over that while Jarvan takes his red. Especially if Jarvan comes and ganks with just double buff before taking his red or clearing his red buff.
Jarvan may be looking for an early gank here on Syndra. He's got the drop on her. Very nice Syndra stun from Jarvan, completely negating his EQ combo. That was what she needed to do to stop him from blowing her flash.
If only Xerath got the stun a little bit earlier, you know, preventing Syndra from popping that stun, the knockback onto Jarvan, probably would have gotten knocked up, and then she would have had to blow her flash. Now looking over at the top side, just as you mentioned, Aurelia using her Q to get the minions 3 times to get 3 different minions, and Maokai just instantly getting his passive up.
She needs to Maokai just wins that matchup so handedly that she either has to waste all of her
Jarvan coming in with a knock up, getting exhausted, not quite getting enough damage down onto Corki, escaping, using both of his summoners.
Jarvan had a very good knock up right there, canceling Corki's Valkyrie mid-flight. That it forced him to flash and use heal. But as I was saying in this top lane matchup, that Aurelia just loses it. So if she uses her Q to jump to the minions and keep Maokai from pushing her in, Maokai's just going to be able to sustain the entire time. But if Irelia lets him push in, and she only last hits with her auto attacks, and she gets pushed in the tower, Maokai's just gonna be able to bully her in lane, and she's gonna lose in CS. So I just think that Irelia does not do too well in this matchup.
Now, over on the bot side, just looking here, now that because of that Jarvan gank, that puts red side or purple side at a slight advantage here, because Corki is very low and he wants to continue CSing, but the Vel'Koz is applying enough pressure so that, you know, if he takes any poke in, it might cause his death, considering he has no summoners up anymore.
We see a lot of this. I've seen a lot of this recently in these games where AD carries just stay way too long on low HP and they just let themselves get zoned out of CS and XP, whereas they could have went back and came back on full HP, and they could have gotten range and maybe taken a little bit of poke. That's why they had full HP, and they take a little bit of poke, but they'd get all that CS and XP back anyways. And if we start looking at CS wise here, purple side is getting big CS leads in all 3 lanes for only 6 minutes in the game. It's 2 waves for top lane. Mid lane's fairly close, but bot lane it's
a huge
Jinx is very
there.
close to doubling Corki's CS.
And we see Vi trying to come in for a gank, getting zoned out by the triple trap.
Triple trap.
Chomp. Vi ultimately not really able to do much, just gotta continue her farm. Let's see if she can try to do something when she gets her level 6. Get that ultimate in. Going for that 1-2 punch. Let's see.
Syndra looks to maybe roaming bot lane for some sort of play here.
Syndra bringing in some good ward coverage over Dragon and bringing up Hank ward just in case maybe the Xerath might want to come for a roam. Or countering any wards against the Vi. We see Jarvan coming in for warding deep into the blue buff. Also a pink ward being dropped down by the Xerath. They're gonna notice that the blue buff is up.
They're gonna look for a blue buff invade here, I assume.
See, Jarvan's trying to come in
Jarvan
for
is
a
not
steal.
level 6 yet.
He gets the blue buff steal with it.
That was
Taking it with
very,
a smite.
That was very well played by Jarvan. He timed Vi's auto attack, assuming that she was not gonna smite immediately, and he smited a little bit before it was in smite range and queued at the same time, so both the damage went off at the exact same time for him to be able to steal a blue buff. That was very well played by Jarvan.
Jarvan once again showing that he can take control over this map single-handedly.
Just like on last game on Nunu, he's very good at coming in and counter jungling. Like last game, he got three of the early blues away from blue side or purple side. Yeah, purple side.
We see Jarvan looking to get a gank here. Knockup being used and ultimate being popped by both of them. Rocket not quite landing in there, but being trapped in there by the Jarvan Cataclysm. Jinx picking up the first blood onto Janna. Xerath, we see them both mid lanes coming in for the roam, trying to get a counter gank in. Over the top side, Maokai popping the ult, showing some dominance in lane. Purple side maybe looking to get this dragon. They start it.
Janna needs to save her tornado for when Vel'Koz ults. Vel'Koz ult does a lot of damage, proccing his passive, which every third proc of his passive does true damage.
We see the Vi jumping over, trying to get the steal, not quite getting it, forced to use flash just to escape. Purple side ultimately picking up that dragon there.
We're seeing this recurring theme, like purple side, or the team playing purple side right now. It's just so handedly, just keeping up objective control. They're so good at keeping the objective control. Last game, they were so good with keeping blue buffs away from mid lane and the enemy jungler. They were so good at diligent about keeping up dragons, and we're seeing that here again in this game.
This game is really being played out by how well the jungler and the mid lane take control of the whole map. I mean, like you mentioned earlier from last game, that Jarvan's has been taking control all over the map in both games, with the mid lane of course. And they've just been denying those buffs, just left and right. They haven't, I mean, they took the red buff away, but they traded it, but they've been taking buff after buff and dragon after dragon. Let's see what blue side can do to stop that.
Irelia's just hit her one of her bigger power spikes. She's got her 5th point into her W, so she's doing the max amount of damage with her W right now. So, but it's not looking like she can fight Maokai still.
Jarvan may be looking for a gank over here, and thus Maokai can just single-handedly kill her, and forcing her to use flash to escape. Jarvan coming in with a cataclysm. Irelia jumping out, getting the kill into Maokai. What an amazing play. Can she make it a double? Not quite enough damage to make it a double there.
That was very well played by Irelia. She waited, she was calm, she waited for that Jarvan ult and just turned immediately onto the
Ulti being used onto the Jinx. Jinx with a great disengage with a trapped here. Not quite getting enough CC and damage to bring her down. Ulti being popped by the Janna to heal the teammates so they can continue a push. Syndra trying to look for a dive here. They don't have any vision on this. Xerath is following up. They know that she's in there. Xerath not quite landing the skills that he needs. We
the
see
traps coming out.
Bunch of damage. Flash being used by Syndra, getting into turret range, taking too much damage there. Getting the kill onto the Jinx, but falling from that. Double kill going for Corki. Barely misses that missile.
That was a great burst right there. That turnaround, the slight knock is a knockback or a knock up from Vi's Q. It gave enough time for them to just completely burst down that Xerath before he was able to kill off that Corki.
It counts as a knock up. Yasuo can ult that as well. But it's more like a knockback. I guess if you get knocked, then there goes the Yasuo ult anyways.
So what we learned today is don't get knocked when playing against Yasuo.
Or you die.
Yep.
Knockup being used up a stun as well. Syndra stopping the ultimate from the Xerath. Xerath's ultimate picking up the kill onto the Syndra. Syndra just getting a little bit caught out, trying to clear that pink ward. Now we see a 1k gold advantage over for Xerath. versus the Syndra. There's lots of gold leads all throughout purple side.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I might cut out for a minute.
I was wondering about that. I see Vi looking to get a gank over here at the bot side. Vel'Koz flashing out just in time to stop all engage.
Vel'Koz is not going the traditional support style build. He's going for more of a AP carry-ish build, where he may, after Leandri, switch into more of a supportive style build, but it's as long as he can keep vision control out, that'll be very good for them, because they'll have that little bit of extra damage, because Jarvan and Maokai late game don't do that much, and relying on 2 carries, especially with the Vi on the enemy team that can lock one person down, and Syndra just there to immediately blow them up, that extra little bit of damage will help them out in these team fights.
Like I mentioned earlier, it's really going to depend on how both teams position themselves during these team fights. And here comes the engage by Jarvan. Monsoon being popped to disengage all that's being done. Blue side may be looking for a re-engage here. Not quite landing the CC they need for that. We see Jarvan getting a 3-man knockup, 3-man cataclysm, finishing up. Ultimates being popped from Xerath and Vel'Koz, dealing tons of damage to take down 3 people. Teleport being used but cancelled by Aurelia. Ultimately a 3-for-1 in favor of purple side.
That was a very nice combo by Jarvan, getting that 3-man knockup and cataclysm. It completely set up the rest of the rest of the ultimates for the team.
Purple side really did a really great job in following up with the ultimates as well, and all the damage they could do.
Blue side needs to start becoming proactive in this vision game over in the bot side. That's another dragon going over to purple side.
And once again, purple side is having a clear control over throughout the map, putting a lot of jungle pressure and lane pressure as well, having ward coverage. Pretty good ward coverage, so that even if a Vi comes in for a gank, they can just easily back off.
As we can see now, the CS leads in all the lanes of those differences have grown by so much that Jinx is ahead on gold, or not ahead in items, and she still is sitting on 2k gold that she has not spent yet.
Yeah, when Jinx gets back, she's gonna buy a lot more. She's gonna come in with a lot more damage than she did before. And that's gonna be scary for blue side. We see Jarvan trying to come in for a potential bait. Sees Aurelia, decides to back off. They still haven't noticed a pink ward over on blue side jungle. That was placed very early on. I guess that's something for both teams to take a look at in future reference. I mean, there's even a ward in there. Donna Knight running into the middle of both of them, popping Monsoon, pushing him away over the wall. Jarvan coming in with a re-engage, using ultimate on Syndra. Syndra getting way too caught out, dropping to the hands of Jarvan.
Aurelia may be looking for the flank.
Jinx pushing the bot side, meanwhile the rest of them are just getting a push straight down mid, using all the poke they can. Root being used by Maokai, not quite getting a close enough root for the team to follow up in. Aurelia trying to look for a re-engage, but ultimately backing off. Jinx still keeping the push at bot lane here, deciding to back off actually.
Jana got a little bit caught out in the beginning of that team fight, and that monsoon not being there for that peel really hurt them. That they lost Syndra before anyone was able to get any damage off.
I see Jinx recalling here with 2,900 gold, instantly picking up a static shiv and boots.
And
a
blue
pink
trinket and a
And
pink
pink
ward. As we can see here, kids, 80 carries have to be part of the team too. PSA, coming from your boy Rimsim.
That's my boy. At this point, I don't really know what blue side can do to just catch up here. I mean, every time they try to do something to catch up, purple side just ultimately won't let them at all. Just keeping really... Actually, they're not keeping good warding, but they're keeping a lot of jungle pressure all around. When they
Blue
try to
side
come in
needs-
for a gauge, they just cut
Blue
them
side
off.
needs to get those pink wards out, get that vision control down, so they can find those picks with Syndra and Vi that ultimately will... That's what they need to do to get themselves back in the game.
See Jarvan trying to catch out the Syndra here. Teleport coming in, pings being used. They want to engage on this. Maokai coming with a counter teleport. Irelia very caught out here. Not quite a position you want to be in. Team falling up, flashing over the wall, disengaging with a monsoon. Great disengage by Janna. Saving that Irelia. And blue side's on the run. Jarvan with a flash ultimate. Ultimate being used by Jinx to pick up the kill on Irelia. Too much damage being put down on Jinx. Not quite using the ultimate during the fight. And that's a 2-for-0 trade. Vel'Koz
That was
picking off that kill on the side there.
That was a little bit of a miscommunication there by blue side. Apparently, Aurelia wanted to find and engage there, but her team just wasn't there to follow her up, and that's two towers, an inhibitor, and possibly another dragon for purple side. And this gold lead is now at 11.7 gold, or K. 11.7 gold.
Just 11.7 gold.
Yes.
Not much
And
of a
at
gold
20
lead there.
At 22 minutes, 11.5 K gold lead is massive.
We can see just how important ward coverage is. Purple side warding all throughout bot side jungle. Just showing them that, you know, warding is very important in this game. And I mean, they were able to catch out that Irelia. They saw it immediately.
Yeah, blue side is lacking a lot of wards. Blue side has 2 wards on the map, and only one of them is in a somewhat ideal location. And I guess Vi wants to make me wrong. She put her pink ward down, so that's 3 wards.
Actually, there's another ward. Over.
Shut up.
No, never mind. I lied. That's a golem. Golems aren't wards.
Do you think golems aren't people? Golems are people too.
No, I said wards.
Are
Hey,
you saying
golems are
wards
people.
aren't
Golems are
people?
golems. And wards are wards.
Are you saying wards aren't golems? How racist.
You heard it here first, folks. Wards are golems.
Wards
Just a
are
little
golems.
fun fact for you guys out there. There was a time where wards actually had attack speed. I believe it was 0.27 attack speed or something. Corki getting a little bit caught out here. Getting rooted by Maokai, popping the ultimate here. Devin trying to follow up, but getting knocked up and not following up enough.
That was a great Syndra stun. She stunned him right before the EQ combo connected, completely negating that Jarvan follow up.
This purple side showing that they have a really clear advantage, just putting in all the siege and poke they can, trying to get this turret. not backing
That-
down.
That long range Vel'Koz Q is zoning them so handedly that they can just straight up face tank this turret without any opposition of the other team.
And it's a really big problem here for blue side. Minions, super minions are knocking right at their base. They have to all back up, allowing purple side to take 2 turrets, possibly another inhib.
I really am looking for the engage.
We see lasers coming in. Jarvan finishing off with the ultimate, picking up 3 kills. Ultimate being used by Jinx, getting a reset, coming in and finishing off with the ace.
And this looks to be the game. Jinx with a quadra kill at the end of the game. Surrender by blue team. GG guys. This was 2 great sets of games. Blue side. Which team was blue side? Was that Dunk Evolution?
When in doubt for this game.
This game. So when in doubt, they could have done more. They had really good comms, but they fell behind in the early game. That they could have done so much more. That they did well for playing behind, but they fell behind in the early games, which they just were never able to get caught back up in that lead.